Hello children, welcome to English class. In this series of classes, you are going to learn more about the important academic standard in English, that is creative expressions. As you all know, there are 6 academic standards in English. Among them, this is one of the important ones. The very word creative expressions, it suggests that you should express yourself in a creative manner. So what is the meaning of express? Express means the way you convey your thoughts and feelings in the form of words. So here the very word suggests that you should express yourself in a creative manner. So what should you express yourself? Your thoughts, feelings and ideas you should express in a creative manner. Under this section in the textbook you are given 18 discourses, and now you got a word discourse. What is the meaning of discourse? Discourse is a written or spoken communication. The meaning of discourse is a written or spoken communication. Here spoken communication is done when you talk to somebody. But for you, in the examination, you will be tested only the written communication. Only the written communication is tested. Coming to the test, what kind of knowledge is tested or what kind of skill is tested under this academic standard? For this, you should have 3 things in mind, and 3 things are tested. What are the things that are tested in the examination? Your imaginative skill will be tested, your creative skill will be tested, as well as your expressive skill will be tested. So in order to have mastery over these skills, you should know more about the language skills. Then only you can write or you can express yourself freely in all these things. So when you write something in English, keep in mind these points. Use short and simple sentences. Don't make your sentences complicated. Let them be very, very simple with the simple words. And next, use different kinds of sentences. How many kinds of sentences are there? 4 kinds of sentences. Statements, questions, imperatives and exclamatories. According to the context, use different kinds of sentences. And use punctuation marks. So using punctuation marks, what are these punctuation marks? Capitalization, using capital letter at the beginning of the sentence and closing the sentence with a full stop, question mark or exclamation. Right? These punctuation marks is another important academic standard in English, that is conventions of writing. Convention means the way you write. The way you write something in English should have punctuation marks. Capitalization and all these, full stop, question mark, exclamation, wherever you need, use apostrophe and inverted commas or quotations, all these are included. So follow those punctuation marks. And next, the most important one is follow tense. From the beginning till the end, keep in mind the tense which is needed to the context. Accordingly, you use the tense. Then your writing will be a readable one. Now the first topic under creative expression is the very easiest one in these discourses, that is letter writing. Letter writing is one of the important topics in English writing skill. Letter writing or a letter is a message conveyed by a person to another person. In the olden days, when there was no medium of communication as we have today, they used to write letters to their near ones and dear ones who live far away from them. And after writing a letter, they used to post them or they used to courier them, send them through courier. But nowadays we have so many things as the technology has advanced. Today we are using emails, Twitters and instant messaging apps. In the olden days, but it was not the situation. So people, they wrote letters to others. Usually in your daily life, students, whom do you write letters to? Usually when you take leave, you write letters to your class teacher or your principal, isn't it? So in the same manner, nowadays you get many letters, business letters from banks and offices, or you get documents in the form of letters. So what is the letter? It is either the script or a printed paper. So letter can be in the form of a script or a printed matter. Now let us see what is the use of these letters and what are the different kinds of letters. See children, there are two types of letters. First one, informal letter. Second one, formal letters. Under informal letters, whom do you write letters to? You write letters to your family members. Family members means your mother, father, brother or sister or uncle. And friends. And you write to your relatives. And acquaintances. Acquaintances means the known persons. And second one, formal letters. So what are formal letters? The letters which you write to authorities are business letters which you write to firms and companies, and official letters which you write to the institutions, head of the institutions, and job applications. When people apply for jobs, they write letters, and a letter to the editor. It is related to press and newspaper. Now let us know more about informal letters. The very word says no formalities are required when you write informal letters. Usually when do you write letters? When there is some reason or a purpose you wish to write a letter. And in that you want to express your feelings and thoughts to the other person whom you are writing. So there is a purpose in writing a letter. When you start writing a letter, you should keep in mind two things. First one, what is the purpose of writing? And second one, to whom you should write that letter. Depending on these two, you have a fixed format to write how to express your feelings. Usually informal letters are written to family members, friends, relatives and acquaintances or known persons. Now, when you write letters to these people, no formalities are required, no formal language is required. It should be just an easy language and conversational language. Converse means talk. So, when you talk to somebody, you talk in a very simple manner, easy manner. The same should be expressed in your letter. And next, you should know what is the format, how to write that letter, what are the basic parts in the letter. In informal letters, mainly we consider 5 points. First one, station and date. You should write it on the top right side corner of the page. And the next, salutation. Salutation means how you address the person to whom you are writing, how you greet the person whom you are writing, letter to. And the third one, body of the letter. Under the body of the letter, the paragraph division we see in detail. And next, closing remark. How do you close the letter? And the last one, superscription. It is to address. So these are the basic parts, 5 basic parts of informal letter. The parts of informal letters. There are 5 parts in informal letters. First one, station and date. Station is the place, name of the city or a town where you are living, and the date should be the day on which you are writing that letter. Second one, salutation or greetings. How you address the people. As it is informal letter, in that you should mention dear or my dear. Third one, body of the letter, informal letters. It will be introduction, main content and conclusion. Usually, introduction part is asking whereabouts of the person to whom you are writing. how are you, I am fine, like that, or I hope this letter will reach you in good health, or you can write in your own way. Next, main content. The purpose of writing the letter should be mentioned in detail in the main content part, and the conclusion is convey my regards to your parents or my best wishes to you. Like that you should conclude the body of the letter. And next, fourth one, subscription, is a closing remark, and it depends on the kind of relationship you have with the receiver of the letter. So suppose if you are writing a letter to your father, you should write your loving son or daughter. When you are writing to your friend, you can write your loving friend. So basing on the relationship, the subscription will be. Next, superscription is the receiver's address. After writing the letter, you should write here to address, to whom you are writing the letter. And for that, you can give a heading address on the envelope and can write the address. Now, before we begin the letter writing, before knowing in detail the parts of the body of the letter, let us see the features of letter writing which are given. Now children, let us see the features of letter writing. First one, appropriate language to the context. According to the situation, you should use the language. And when we say language, we can use here in informal letters, we can use informal language or sometimes semi-formal language when you write to elders. And second one, appropriate format, layout and conventions. What is the meaning of format? Pattern. And what is the meaning of layout? It is a map. It is like a mind map, and according to the conventions, the way you write, there is a way to write, how to write informal letters. You should know that. And third one, expressing the ideas sequentially. So there should be some order in expressing your ideas and thoughts. It should not go in a zigzag way. It should be in an order so that the feelings may be understood by the reader very clearly. Next, use of persuasive language. What is the meaning of persuasive? Convincing. The language which you use in the letter should be in a convincing manner. And next, the last one, maintaining coherence. All the sentences or the ideas in the letter should be connected in a logical and a reasonable way. Now, let us see the format of a letter writing. This is a format of informal letters. As discussed, there are 5 parts in informal letters. The first one, station and date. Next, salutation. Next, body of the letter. Next one, complimentary close or closing remark. And the last one, superscription. Right? These are the 5 parts of a body of the letter. Now let us see station and date. So station is the place from where you are writing the letter. And coming to the date, on the date on which you are writing the letter, you should write that date. And salutation, as it is informal letters, you should write my dear or dear. You can use according to the relationship between you and the other person. Now coming to the third one, body of the letter. And this body of the letter should be divided into 3 paragraphs. First one, introduction. Second one, main content. And the third one, conclusion. Coming to the introduction part, let us know more about the body of the letter, because it is the one which is very, very important, and it conveys the message what you wish to write. Under the introduction part, you should ask the whereabouts of the other person to whom you are writing. You should express how you are, and you should also know about how the other person is. That is called introductory part. And in this introductory part, you can mention the purpose of your writing the letter. And in the main content, you should describe or narrate in detail what you wish to write. And the third one, conclusion. Conclusion is nothing but it may be a single line. That is, convey my regards to the elders, or convey my regards to your parents, or convey my wishes to your brother or sister. That will be the conclusion. And coming to the last one, closing remark or complimentary close, it also depends on the kind of relationship you have with the other person. You can write yours lovingly, or your loving son when you are writing to your father, or when you are writing to your brother, your loving brother. When you are writing to your grandparents, your loving grandson. Like that you should write. Otherwise, simply you can write yours lovingly. And the last one, superscription. Superscription is nothing but a receiver's address. The person who is going to receive your letter, to that person you should write this. This is nothing but to address. So these are the 5 parts, basic parts of informal letters. So first one, station and date. Second one, salutation. Third one, body of the letter. Fourth one, complimentary close or closing remark. And the fifth one, superscription. These are the 5 parts of informal letters. Now let us see one example on these informal letters. Now here is an example for informal letter. When you see this letter, see the question. Write a letter to your father requesting him to send money to pay hostel dues. When you write a letter to your father, you should use semi-formal language. Means as you write to your friend, you should not say he or hello like that. There should be minimum formality, so it should be written in semi-formal language. Now first let us understand the body parts of the letter. First one, station and date. Second one, salutation. Third one, body of the letter. Fourth one, subscription. And fifth one, superscription. These are the 5 parts of the informal letters. Now, as imagine, you should use your imagination or creative skills and write the letter. Just you will be asked a question. So we should keep in mind the format of the letter and then should begin the letter. So station, Guntur, and the date. On the day which you write the letter, that date should be written. And salutation, my dear father. It shows the relationship. So my dear father. And in the body of the letter, if you see 3 parts, introduction. Introduction means here you need not introduce yourself to your father. Just say something about you and inquire about your father. Hope this letter will find you in the best of your health. So indirectly conveying a message that I hope you are in good health. And next, this second part of the body of the letter, that is the main content, the purpose for which you are writing that letter. Here the purpose is just saying about you first. You will be happy to know that I stood first in my class getting 471 marks. I had to buy some helping books to my course and stationery. This emptied my pocket. I have run short of money to pay the hostel dues. I shall be grateful to you if you send me extra 5,000 rupees for the payment of hostel dues. So this is the second part of the letter, the purpose for which you are writing that letter. And closing one, that is conclusion. Convey my regards to all at home. When you see this body part, this part is introductory part, this part is main content, and this one is a conclusion. These all come under the body of the letter. And after that, the subscription and the signature means you should write your name. So what is the subscription here? Your loving son or daughter. And after writing a letter, you should write the receiver's address, that is your father's address. So mention it as address on the envelope and write the address. So this is an example for informal letter. And here, children, remember it is in a semi-formal language. As you are writing to an elderly person, your father. So, in brief and asking about him and saying about yourself, you are writing this letter. Now, let us see another letter. So, this one is a letter to a friend. Here, the language which you use can be informal, just like a conversation. See the question. Now, children, let us see another example for informal letter. It is a letter to a friend. Imagine you are Akriti or Abhinav. Write a letter to your friend describing your boarding school experience. Right, some of you may stay in hostels, so after joining the boarding school, you should narrate your experience to your friend. Here also, when you see this letter, the same 5 parts are given. See their station and date. So, what is the station here? Guntur. And what is the date given? 1st August and 2020. The year in which or the day on which you are writing the letter. Now, salutation. Dear Mahi. Your friend's name is Mahi. So, it has been a long time since I have heard from you. How have you been? I hope this letter finds you in the best of your health and cheerful spirits. So, this is the introductory part. Now, coming to the content of the letter or the purpose for which you are writing a letter. As you know, I have got admission in a boarding school. I wish to share my initial days experience with you. In the beginning days, I was a little bit sad as I have never been away from my family since childhood. I want to thank you for your precious advice at the time I needed it the most. You said it very truly that we should not reach to conclusions without even visiting the campus. Your words were really encouraging. That time it seemed to be a bold decision, but now I am slowly and happily adapting to the new environment. All my teachers here are very understanding and cooperative. I found it smooth to adjust with them easily. Way of teaching here is very impressive and totally different from my previous school. More focus on co-curricular activities helped me a lot in making friends, and I have started feeling that I am a part of this institution now. There is a lot to share about my new school when we will meet. Here it is the content part. So here expressions or your feelings about the boarding school have been expressed. That is the purpose for which you are writing a letter. And now the conclusion. Convey my regards to your parents, eagerly waiting to see you soon. So this is a concluding one. And finally, the closing remark or subscription, we say, yours lovingly. So as the names are given, Akriti or Abhinav, the same names have to be written. And then address on the envelope. So you have to decide to which person you should post the letter and write the same. See here, children, this is the best example for informal letter. When you see the picture, the title of the book is Letters from a Father to His Daughter. So the father here is Jawaharlal Nehru, and this book is a set of letters written by Nehru to his daughter Gandhi. You might be wondering how a father can write so many letters to his daughter, but during the independence movement, Jawaharlal Nehru was imprisoned, and from the prison, to motivate his daughter or to influence her towards the movement, he wrote many letters, and those letters were published in the form of a book, and really these letters are motivational ones. Now students, let us take these 2 letters as practice letters. Take down the first question. write a letter to your friend telling her how to use mobile phones for positive or good use. Here children, keep in mind the 2 points. To whom you are writing a letter, first point. And second one, what is the topic on which you are going to write a letter? Here, to whom you are going to write a letter? To your friend. What is the topic on which you should write? How to use mobile phones for positive use. So nowadays you are all busy with these classes and using your mobile phones much. How can you make good use of these phones? Express your ideas, thoughts and feelings in a letter to your friend. And keep in mind the format of the letter. Station and date, salutation, body of the letter, subscription and superscription, 5 parts. And one more letter. Write a letter to your younger sister telling her the benefits of time management. Here in the second letter, whom should you write the letter? You should write letter to your younger sister. And what should you write in that letter? About the benefits of time management. So both the letters are informal letters. One is letter to friend and one is letter to your sister. The format is same and the language you should use should be a colloquial language. Well children, writing something in English improves your vocabulary and a regular practice of it makes you strong in writing skills. And then you can master the language skills, listening, speaking, reading and writing. Of course, writing is the very easiest one to express your feelings and thoughts. And moreover, the letter writing and the letters to the relatives or dear ones is a line through which you can express your thoughts and ideas and feelings very clearly. And be honest in your feelings, be sincere in your expressions and write the letters given to you. And in our next session, we will learn about formal letters.